Hello. First I want to get out the way. This is not a video to shit talk to anybody. This is not a video for me to yell. This is not one of those types of videos. Um, just to get that out of the way, I would appreciate if you could stick around and just hear me out. I know people that, and sometimes it's no fault of yours. I know people that look like me. When you see people that look like me talk, you automatically probably perceive me as, oh my God, woke and all this other stuff. And maybe, I mean, my views are very left leaning, but while I am a passionate person, I try to put logic into how I think about things, and I'm honest with myself of how others will see things, even if I want them to see it in a different way. Like, I can sit here and ask you to, oh my gosh, please see these people as human. They're not trying to do. I can do all of that begging and crying and all that I want to, but at the end of the day, it's all up to you to choose what you want to believe in and how you want to go about life. All of that to say, hi, I'm Nakia Bella, and this is my channel, Faux Intellectual, and I'm fucking back. I've been gone a minute because, I probably look super woke because one of my last videos was like, oh my God, are trans people mentally ill? Short answer is no, they're not, but you could look at that if you want to. It's up to you. I am passionate in my other videos. I'm always in a growing process. I'm always reinventing myself because that's what we should do as human beings. There's always something to learn. There's always something to learn about yourself. It's always something to do. It's never done. No matter how old you get, it's never done. It's always something new you could do. Um, so after, being gone a while, my car being down, coming back up, having to catch up to bills, and also, writing on Substack. I do a lot of writing. I've been writing since I was in middle school, so I've been writing in general. I'm sorry if the video's a little crooked because I'm just chilling on the bed with my computer and stuff. So yeah, this is me connecting with you. I don't care what political side you're on. We're connecting. If you can connect with this, then I appreciate you. I'm hoping you're going to stick around for the rest. Yeah, I do a lot of writing. I try to journal as many times as I can remember to journal because sometimes you're just tired. I'm mainly making this video because I just see a lot of people that are hurt, confused, and angry. More so angry than anything, and I'm seeing the people that are benefiting benefiting from this anger, and they are profiting off of us in our discourse while we're focused on each other. We're not focused on them. We're not focused on the fact that Trump wants to silence journalists. We're not focused on how his language has put us against people that just want to work, that people just want to survive, that just want to live. A lot of people mind their business, with all of the immigrants that are flooding into the country that are murderers and thieves. You would think there would be a lot more instances where they hurt Americans, but we hurt each other. So it's like we're our own enemy. Um, so it's like this has been a thing all throughout history. You can look it up. This video is definitely going to be mostly opinion, but my opinion is based on fact and just living, everyday life. And our circumstances is very state by state. I'm in the state of Maryland. So where I am in the state of Maryland, it's really not a lot happening here, to be honest, but there's a lot happening in other places. So I kind of feel like I have to be a voice of reason because I live in such a neutral place that there really isn't a lot of hostility going on. I have a lot of Trump supporters in my state. I've worked with Trump supporters. So I have a different view of what and who they are as people. Online, it's very different. Online, everybody is very angry. Online, you have people like Elon profiting off of our discourse, and there's people that think he made that better because there's no more censoring. But it seems like anytime you guys talk about free speech, it's always hateful speech, and I don't know why we should want that to exist. So just to get another thing out the way, this video is definitely going to be more so like asking questions and just bringing things to the forefront of your mind so we can all just think about why why do we want to keep feeding this machine of discourse and hate and fear, it's a lot. It's really a lot. And we're not profiting off of it. Everything we do is for a profit, but it's how honest you're being while making that profit. Like, okay, for example, right now, I'm not making money from this video, but it will come a day that I will be making money from my videos. But because of my morals and my principles, when I make my videos, I don't want to be dishonest. I don't want to be hateful to profit. And there are people profiting from being hateful and misleading you and lying to you. Same thing, but misleading, lying, stretching the truth, or, blaming others that aren't really the cause so you can keep your eyes off of. These people are getting paid to tell you that somebody else is the problem when you need to be looking at them. They don't want you to look at them. They don't want us to look at them, because all of us together, we can really mess some stuff up. And I know y'all know that. A lot of people's principles and morals come from good places. There's more good people than there are bad people, but because of our history, our very vast history, because of our colors and our cultures and things like that, it's hard to just let that go because of what it's done and what it has led to, because it's been the catalyst for a lot of people's problems. But all throughout history as well, that's always been a thing, no matter what color, is the rich against the poor. The French freaking beheaded people because of that. So it's been a constant thing throughout history, and I don't know why we thought that it was going to be the same thing now. What really bothers me, though, is that, Trump is one of the rich, and Elon is too. And then you have these other, like, questionable people. I think what we can all agree with, no matter what party, though, is that things need to change. We don't like to see people who have some type of couth and respect and what they see, when they see a president or how politicians should act. We don't want politicians to be doing all this name calling, and it's professionalism. So it's like, it's just weird. I'm sorry in advance if this video is jumbled up, but it's like a conversation, conversations bounce from here and there. But I've been called, so while I was away, I've been called to use my voice for something, and because I'm somewhat in a privileged spot, just because of where I live and how I carry myself or who I have around me, my support system, I feel like I have the time and the space to talk to people and really figure out how we can come together. But the main thing I want everyone on the Republican Trump side to take from this video, because I know there are Republicans that don't like Trump, and I know there are Republicans that really, really, really mess with him, that will go to war for him, clearly. What I really want you all to take from this video is that just watch. I really want you to pay attention to who you voted for. I didn't vote. I will be completely honest. I did not vote. I was very conflicted. I'm at the age now, 26, where usually people would take politics more seriously. When you're younger, you're finding your place. But now it's like a lot of things are shifting. A lot of things are so different. I felt I really had to start paying attention to what's happening. I just want you guys to pay attention. That's all. I want you all to pay attention and not just listen to the people. I hope you find me. Not just listen to the people that you've been listening to that feed you the same things, but when they talk to others that are on the opposing side, and we have our reactions like, oh, they're so dumb. Oh, they just want to do this and they want this to be there. You guys are both saying the same thing about each other on either side, but because I'm on the outside but on the inside, I'm seeing where the discrepancies are and why it's uneven in a way. If you don't want your free speech to be messed with, why would you want someone else's free speech to be messed with? Since Trump did say he would be going after journalists that basically badmouth him. He would say, of course, it's defamation, but it really is just being a journalist and saying, hey, this is what he said, this is what he's doing, this is what we think might happen, and you know, journalism, that's how it goes. You pick and choose, I guess, what writers you want to follow, but we have to be cognizant of the bias that people hold or companies hold, since Jeff Bezos owns Washington Post. Yeah, Washington Post. So, you know, we have to be very mindful of how we're being manipulated, even if it's people from our side. When the person you listen to, when they post a story or a news article and they say this, oh, they're trying to do this, we should all know that headlines can oftentimes be misleading and oftentimes not even have in it what our favorite political influencer said. It could be completely different to what they quoted the article with. We need to I think people have stopped taking the time to look at things on their own and just took somebody else's word for it. This is why I have been watching, well, more so listening to Destiny. He's a political streamer, because one, I don't agree with how he sees things sometimes or what he says, but I appreciate that he will show you his screen, the sources he's looking at, who he's listening to, what he's reading, all of that. And that's what people need to start paying attention to when it comes to, you know, I feel bad for people like Luke Beasley, who tries his best to look at the facts and try to, you know, speak fairly. And then you have people like Tim Pool that are just, you know, very aggressive and just not actually wanting to have a conversation. You just want to feel the way you feel. You just want to just be right. You don't really want a change. And that leads me into my other subject, because I really don't want this video to be too long. What do you guys want? I'm so serious. What do you want? Are you actually for America's prosperity, or like what? Okay, since I'm black, let's go here. I know that there are places where my community is killing each other, they're hurting each other, robbing each other, all the sorts of stuff. Men hurt men at high rates regardless of color, but just to give that as an example. Now, there's so many scholars that have talked about why this is the way it is right now, but a lot of people don't want to hear that because it sounds like excuses. But in order to fix a problem or get a solution for a problem, we have to know where it came from. And it came from a lot of multiple things that I don't have to educate you on, because I implore people to really look at why is it like this. Now, once you find out the why that it's like this, it's a lot of things you should implement to fix that outcome of, you know, whatever it is with the violence in our communities. If you really care about America and its success, why would you not want certain things implemented to try and help that? My theory is that people are very impatient with results. You can't fix decades of violence with 1 year of programs or mentorships or, you know, things like that. There are even movies about this same issue. My brothers and sisters don't have the resources to get out of what they're in. It's a cycle, it's trauma, it's, you know, And this is not to say that people shouldn't be punished for their crimes, but I'm using all of that as an example to say, what do you really want? Do you really want to sit around and say, oh, you guys are inherently violent genetically, and you guys are disgrace to the country? It's a lot of hurtful things that I've read about black people that is just kind of like, do you guys really care? You just need somebody to talk down on, because you guys have the version of us too, which is trailer trash is what you guys would call it. So do you guys really want it to no longer be like that, or you always need somebody to talk down on? What really is it? I feel like if you really are a patriot and you're for America and you hate the history, but some of you guys don't hate the history, Why would you not want to change that? Why would you not push for, hey, we need to figure out what we can do to get it together? And there are people in my community, black people, trying to, stop the violence. Nobody wants their sons killed. Nobody wants to see their sons killed. Nobody wants to see that. But it's a generational, just keep going. When you keep having nothing, you're going to keep having nothing. It's going to keep going and keep going, because nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about them. And people lack compassion when they speak on issues like these, because they're just saying they just want to be violent. They just want to do this. They just want to do that. That is all they've grown up seeing. And when you're already in schools that don't have a lot of funding and, don't have a lot of programs where these black kids can see all the different career choices they can make, it just leaves in a loop of, okay, you're either an athlete, a rapper, or it's done. Nothing else. It's not a lot promoted to them. I've been living in the my parents moved me to the suburbs very young. So I've been exposed to both worlds of the opportunities that I have, and then the opportunities that others did not get. These kids don't have the knowledge of what they can be, and then they're often brought down because of where they are at on top of that. And then when you get somewhere, there's somebody to rob you or do something else. It's a lot. So boom, with that being said, do you really want a better America, or you just want an America that just looks like you? And unfortunately, I know there are people that are really going to be like, I just want an America that looks like me. And I'm sorry to say that can't happen. I'm not really sorry to say that, but I wish people really could just go somewhere where they don't see diversity and they don't see the culture that we have all created together. It's a lot of American culture that we've gotten to and created together, and we've put our foot and our hands in. And lately, what also called me to make this video, lately I've just been crying. I've been really crying because I see the humanity in all of us, and it sucks that we can't sit that everyone has let people, these grifters and everyone, just manipulate and abuse our mental and feed our hate and our anger and our fear and our worries. And they've told us, hey, we're not to blame. These people are. Figure it out. Go talk to them about it. Get them out of here. Matter of fact, vote for me so we can get them out of here. Even though they're just trying to live just like you. They have families just like you. And I know things can be different. I know processes of certain things can be different. It could be worked on. It could be tweaked. It could be all sorts of things. We know things need work. We all know things need work here. We all know that. I think this election, a lot of people just lost hope and left the spaces that used to bring them joy. And I'm here to say, I'm going to wrap this up. Be your own movement. I want people to lead with compassion. If you are an American and you're for America, lead with compassion, because these people here are Americans. And I'm here to say that I like it here. But a lot of people say they hate it here because they just hate that. Why can't just people see what we have in common and the history that has led us here? And people just want to be heard. People want to be heard, and nobody's being heard. So everybody is hurt that they're not being heard. And it takes, honestly, in this day and age, a strong person to sit and talk to somebody that hates them. So everyone just needs to stop. It is hard to sit and listen to somebody that hates you. It's hard to sit and talk to somebody that hates you. Even if they say they don't hate you, everything they say makes you feel that they hate you and don't care about you or the people that you come from or the culture that you come from. I think we let the internet discourse come into real life as if that is a big issue when it's just internet talk. People have discussions all day, every day. That's fine. We can have these, scholars have these discussions. There shouldn't be any problem with people having these discussions, even if you think it's stupid, but it's not for you to take this internet discourse and put it into real life and make it seem like we can't let these type of people run amok or something like that. You know, people are going to be weird on the internet. That's how it is. But these people are also real people, and you're a real person. And I would hope whoever's watching this video, you're not on the internet arguing and screaming all day. I don't scream on the internet no more. I did when I was younger, in my earlier 20s. I try not to do that anymore unless someone really comes at me crazy. But even now, I've reached a point, like I said, constantly evolving. I've reached a point where it's like, you either get me or you don't. Just the other day, some guy said, you know, you black people kill each other and all this other stuff, but you don't got stuff to say about that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you carry a lot of rage in your heart, and that's not good for the body. Even if he's just the type of person that, you know, wants to rage bait all day, I hope just that little statement, we can only hope just that little statement would make somebody sit back and go, damn. I really do just be walking around screaming, yelling, yes, just yelling and screaming, just rage bait. Like, what is, like, people confuse me when they get something out of causing people stress. Like, you are so miserable. Does that not do anything to the psyche, to the physical? It does, don't it? Doesn't stress do something? Depression, all of that, you know? So I don't even do that anymore. I say what I say, and I think I'm just going to start asking questions now. What do you really want? Is this the type of cycle you want? People feeling afraid to even go outside because of who they are? This is America, freedom. What are we doing? Okay? What are we doing? This hand says glory, by the way. I just did that because I'm like, hello, color, white, black, let's get together. Let's get it together. Of course, the white and the black, you know, we got a lot of history. So it's going to be something. It's always going to be something. But the people who can do it and can have the conversations need to do it. And I don't know where I am on that spectrum. I would like to think I can have the conversations, but I guess I'm just here to ask questions. So what do you want? And I implore you to watch who you voted for, which is Trump, to watch the billionaires he has around them, and the billionaires that will be getting their tax cuts and everything that you want, that you, an American, want for your people, for your family, for your neighbors, for your coworkers. I know there are those of you out there that have people of all colors that have done something good in your life for you. And imagine if they weren't there. Imagine if that point of your life that you needed a person like them, of that other color, wasn't there. That is the America that you probably think you want, and you don't. Man, my quick little tidbit, the babysitter I used to help, she was a white woman, and she had her own little issues, I'll give you that, but I learned from her, and she encouraged me in all my little 12, 13-year-old endeavors and all my silly things. She encouraged me. Not saying my family didn't, but, you know, it was pivotal to have someone like her around to let me know that whatever I want to venture in, I can venture in, because there's some things stereotypically that black people as a group really don't dabble in, you know? And it's no fault of ours culturally. Some things you just, for all races, some things you just don't dabble in. It just takes that person from another culture to tell you, hey, that ain't bad. That's all it is. Just like with what I said with the schools and, you know, black kids feeling like, what other career can they possibly go in? Things like that. We all need each other because we all have such different perspectives. So let me know in the comments, what do you want, really? And don't be hateful. I won't block you, I'll just let you be. And I'll probably make another video actually responding to whatever comments I may or may not get. I'm going to link my Substack below. I have a spoken poetry book out. I'm going to link that below as well. It mostly mentions love. Mentions love. A little bit of spirituality. It's called Where Do We Go From Here? And it's basically the first phase of a transition phase My next one is going to be longer. It's going to be called Maybe I'm Lost, and I'm really going to really write. It's going to be poetry, but I'm going to have chapters where I'm really speaking on what I've been thinking, what I've been feeling, what I've been doing, what I used to do. This is an interesting space we're going to be stepping into, and I hope that we see who the real enemies are and come together.